to Drinks After Work with your two favorite sickos, Shannen and Abby, where we give you that after work happy hour energy and talk about everything other than work.
Woo!
Woo!
No,
Do you like that?
Give me more than that.
Do you like that?
That was a low woo.
Woo!
Thank you. All right.
Did that hurt your ears a little bit?
No, I loved every
Okay.
second.
Okay.
Welcome back, everyone. And if you're new here, make sure you follow us on social media. It is at Drinks After Work _ on Instagram and at Drinks After Work no underscore on TikTok. Did I get it right?
Abby did a great job
I get it
enunciating her words. You got it right.
Wait, really quick though. Speaking of our socials, I saw this TikTok. Speaking of TikTok, I saw this TikTok, and this girl.
Speaking of our socials and speaking of TikTok and
they go hand in hand. I saw this TikTok and this girl posted like that she bought like this stamp, like this self stamper thing with like her social media on it, so that like she could like strut her shit this summer and like just like go stamping everyone. And so I bought us 2 stamps with our Drinks After Work handles on it. So
that's so cute. So we can stamp people?
Yes, and every piece of paper in the Boston area.
So if you own a piece of paper, prepare to have
it. We're coming to stamp you.
Hide your kids, hide your wife, we're coming to stamp you.
Yep. And if you don't, like, I don't know, just follow us on social media. And
is it like harassment to stamp people? Depends on like where we stamp them. Okay, well, it's fine. Actually, I'm excited about this because I was hanging out with Michael's family yesterday, and his sister's boyfriend is a lawyer, and he has like a notary like stamp.
I was wondering what that was.
I was like stamping my hands with it.
Okay, well, I think we're gonna get a lot of use out of our new stamper. It's coming soon.
How are we feeling today? Are we feeling good? Like, what's the vibe? Are you happy?
Well, today's Monday.
Okay.
And I'm feeling pretty good for Monday.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I'm not hangry for once.
You're not hangry.
While we're recording, so that's a plus.
Probably because we ate a whole bag of goldfish right before this.
They don't need to know that.
We were just, so our producer, Sam, whom we love, he and I always take a shot before we record, and like we didn't have anything to chase it with, so we were chasing it with goldfish. Really gross. Not a good move.
Gross.
Would not recommend.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I feel good. I feel happy.
Okay, I love that for us.
Okay, so on to bigger and better stuff.
Yeah. Okay, let's like just cut to the chase because I bet everyone's dying to know who won the merch giveaway.
I know. Everyone's dying to know.
And if you missed last week's I see you with the sarcasm. It almost went over. But no. So if you missed last week's episode, that sucks because you missed a fire merch giveaway. We're giving away free merch.
We're giving away free merch.
All you had to do was freaking review us on Apple and send it to us in our DMs. And honestly, I like kind of love this because the like narcissist in me was like reading these reviews, and I was like, I love this. I want to do this every week.
I know, like every day.
Like everyone was so sweet.
It's like Christmas. All right, so who won, Abigail?
Okay, so there can only be one winner. So drum roll, please. Brooke Jameson.
Woo! Woo!
So we will be reaching out to you via DM to get your address and find out what you want for your piece of merch. But Brooke wrote the nicest review, and she also submitted it. Like bonus point for submitting it at like 9 a.m. the day that we released the episode.
Yeah, we noticed that. So we like put it into like a random generator. Like everyone's like names and stuff, and she popped up, but we were pumped about it because she sent it in at like 9 a.m. like that the day that the episode dropped, which is so cute. So
yeah. So that's that. There'll be plenty more merch giveaways. So if you didn't win, don't be discouraged. We see you and we still appreciate you. So we're going to be doing plenty more. And we're still waiting for our merch to come. So if you guys also just ordered your own merch and you haven't gotten it yet, just like please be patient. It's coming. We still haven't gotten ours, and like some of our friends.
All of our friends have been wearing Drinks After Work like hoodies, and we're just sitting there like idiots.
Cool. I can't relate.
All right, guys, commercial break. Commercial break. Abby.
Shannen.
Don't you hate it when you get home from a long day of work, you just get into a fight with your boss, you're PMSing like a bitch, you come home, all you want to do is kiss your boyfriend on the cheek and just be like, hey, honey, I'm home. And what do you get me with? The ugly, the disgusting, the gross face stubble.
Oh, yeah. That's like not exactly what I want.
It's not what I want.
No.
And it's not what I need.
No, it's not.
All right. Well, our way to solve that problem, Manscaped. So they have an array of products that can get you all cleaned up from head to toe. So head over to manscaped.com. There is an array of products there. Use code BIGNIGHT for 20% off your purchase and free shipping. They have a bunch of different products, but you can also get the performance package, which is like an all-in-one type thing, which we have up here. So head over there, and you are welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
And yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay. So, drunk deets. We kind of have like an array of like random different things.
Mm-hmm.
But like I want to start off with Tina Turner.
Okay.
You know who she is?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Just making sure. So she just released her new HBO documentary on HBO. It's like a 2-hour special. It's called Tina. And so the documentary is told in 5 parts. It's like spanning across 6 decades.
Okay.
And basically, so like the 5 parts, it's like, I don't really know how to pronounce her ex-husband's names. It's like Ike. Like, how would you say that?
I don't know.
Ike. I'm going to call him Ike. Ike. Well,
okay.
He's Ike because he sucks. So, it was her ex-husband and Tina, which was like the first one. And basically like she's had such like a rough go. Like she had a 16-year marriage with this guy, and she suffered like physical, mental, sexual abuse, like afflicted by her former husband. And it's just like really sad. And like this isn't the first time that she's like talked about it, but they dived into it. So like it forces the audience to like relive like her highest highs and her lowest lows, and like her lowest lows were pretty freaking low. But then so the other parts of the documentary were family, her comeback, the story, and love. So basically like she's now 81 years old, so like just like keep that in mind. Like
I always feel like in my head she's like 40. I don't know why.
Yeah, like or at most 60. Like it's so wild to me that she's like 81. But like she like formally retired in 2009 after her last tour. It was called Tina, the 50th anniversary.
Okay.
And she's pretty much kept out of the public eye since then. Like since her tour ended in 2009, like she's kind of just like went ghost. Like she lives in Switzerland. She's remarried to this
She lives
guy.
in Switzerland?
Yeah, isn't that dope?
Yeah, that is dope.
She got remarried in 2013 to this guy, Erwin. She published another book called Happiness Becomes You. There's a Broadway show about her life that was nominated for 12 Tony Awards.
Wow.
And then this past February, it was announced that she is a nominee for the 2021 class for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is awesome. But like, how has she not been nominated after all these years? Like, that's like wild to me. But basically, like, did you watch it? The documentary? It literally came out yesterday.
I haven't yet.
No.
It's on my list.
Basically, like, if you guys haven't watched it, like, you don't even have to be a fan of hers to like really like appreciate and respect this documentary, because I mean it talks about like a lot of like deep and heavy things, but it's just like wild because, and I was like reading about it, and someone said it's almost devastating to imagine how like even more monumental she could have been had she been given the like adoration and peace and ability to thrive from the very beginning of her life.
Right.
And I thought that was like the saddest thing ever. Like to think like where, but then at the same time, I was also like, okay, like, yeah, she's had a lot of bad things happen to her, which is like horrible. But at the same time, it like has made her who she is today and like helped her create some like amazing music. And like, she wouldn't be who she is today without those lows.
Right. No, that's such a good point. And didn't you also say though, that like, she was saying, she's like, I've been trying to get out of the public eye for so many years.
Yeah, like so basically like this documentary was kind of like her like final tribute. Like this is like I'm laying everything out on the table and then that's it. Like I'm ready to go. And I just think it's like wild that like as a culture we're so bad about letting celebrities like leave the public eye. Like once you're a celebrity, like there's no like privacy anymore. There's like nothing. Like you're in the public eye, everything you do is scrutinized. put on blast, and she's just like done. And she's 81. I don't blame her.
Yeah, I almost feel like we were talking about this earlier. I think that there's this weird stigma where it's like when you're famous, that's it. You're famous for life. And It's like, well, what if you decide one day, hey, I don't want to be famous anymore. And maybe I want to be a regular person, and maybe I want to travel the world and like leave the fame behind me. I feel like that should be allowed. But I feel like once you're in it, you can't escape it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like
really
we all go through phases in our life. Like there's been so many phases I've gone through where at one point in my life I wanted certain things, and like a few years later I'm like, wait, I don't want that anymore. Right. You know what I mean? So imagine like being so stuck in like an image or like a persona that like you can't break out of that for the rest of your life, even at 81 years old. Like that's insane to me.
I know, it's kind of scary.
Definitely worth a watch though. I've heard really good things about it so far. Also, if you have not watched already, the Audrey Hepburn documentary is also out.
Is that new?
Yes, which is on my list as well, but it's about her life, and she's like the most amazing person, I think. So definitely.
Where can you watch that? Netflix?
Yeah. I think some either Netflix or I think it's Netflix. Yeah.
Cool. Love that. All right. So you have some homework.
Okay. Next up. So the infamous Bryce Hall and Addison Rae, obviously a couple that is within the TikTok world, and they've just become super famous ever since Addison Rae started hanging out with the Kardashians, etc. They have finally broken up after like a year and a half of on and off dating. Wah, wah, wah.
To be honest, I didn't even know that they were dating until I heard that they broke up.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like you're always on TikTok though.
I know, but like I'm really not into like that whole like what is it called? The Sway House? Is he part of the Sway House?
The Sway House.
Is that it?
Wait, I love the Sway House because I feel like all those guys are like sway.
Is that what they're called though? I know that the Sway House is a thing.
Yeah,
is that what Bryce
he
Hall
was,
did?
but I think they just broke up, or I don't know. But
and like I don't like the whole like the dancing.
Yeah, like
thing.
the pop culture TikTok world.
Yeah, you don't see that on my TikTok.
I know what you mean. But so they finally broke up. So basically Bryce Hall, he actually came on BFF's podcast where
I love that podcast.
Me too, where Dave Portnoy and Josh Richards, who was actually roommates with Bryce Hall, they're hosting the show. So he came on, he talked a little bit about it. And he said that he broke up with Addison Rae, which everyone was super shocked about because I feel like Addison is way out of his league. And she's like a bunch of great stuff coming to her. Like she's beautiful. She hangs out with Kourtney Kardashian. Like I feel like she's just, I don't know, out there. But apparently he broke up with her. I don't know how true that is. They've been broken up for a month and they never revealed it to the public. So I guess they broke up a month ago and they kind of kept it under
he said
wraps.
that they were like gonna see if they were gonna work things out, and then like they didn't, and then a bunch of rumors were like floating that there was like they were cheating on each other, but in reality like they were actually broken up. They just weren't telling anyone.
Yeah. You know what makes me wonder though, like I just feel like all the time I constantly wonder what is real and what is fake of what we see. Yeah. The fact that these people, it's like, oh, we've been broken up for a month and everyone thought they were dating this whole time. Like that's so bizarre.
What if like they actually like someone actually did cheat, but they like didn't want to admit it. So they're like, no, like we were actually broken up.
Yeah, well, that's kind of how it started, though. So basically, I mean, there's a lot to it. I don't really want to get into like the nitty gritty details because a lot of it is speculation at this point.
She said.
But basically, Bryce Hall was in Vegas and some women came forward. I think she was like a stripper or something, and said that they slept together. And she basically was like extorting him for money and was like, I will come forward with this information unless you pay me, which is extortion. And he was like, I didn't do that, so no, I'm not paying you. So then she went public. So then he ended up having to go through all this like legal fees and lawyers and whatever. And he claims like he was like, I did not do that. But I mean, who knows what actually happened? I have no idea. This is all alleged, like it always is on here. But he was like, it didn't happen. And I guess Addison, he was like, she believed me. Like she didn't for a second doubt that I did that. But he was like, it also does obviously create some trust issues within a relationship and things were kind of rocky. He was like, I was extremely stressed out and just not in a place emotionally where I felt like I could be in a relationship with someone. So yeah, they broke up. Ever since then, there's been rumors kind of circulating. He's been hanging out with Josie Canseco, who is Logan Paul's ex-girlfriend. Mm-hmm. So
I heard they hooked up.
Right. So a bunch of people are saying that they've been kind of canoodling. He says they're just friends. He's like, nothing ever happened between us. But then he went on to say that ever since he's been hanging out with Josie, that Logan Paul and Addison have been suddenly friends and they've been hanging out and they've been like seen together like at the beach and seen together doing things.
That's so he's so petty.
Yeah. So basically people are like, are they hooking up now? And Bryce was like, I have no idea. So I don't know what it is. It seems very high school to me. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe all these people are just friends, but who knows? No, like that's just like a classic.
If you listen to the episode of BFFs where like literally like Dave and Brianna were like grilling Bryce Hall about whether or not he hooked up with, what is her name? Josie, whatever. Josie. I don't know.
Why would it be Hosey?
I don't know.
Like why?
I don't know. But basically like the way that he was answering their question, he was like beating around the bush.
Really?
Yes. And like they were grilling him. And like Brianna was like, so like you didn't cheat on her with Hosey, but like you guys
Josie.
Oh fuck.
Why?
I don't know.
I just don't know why that's your default.
I don't. Whatever. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Sexiest bald man.
Oh yeah, let's move on to that. Let's just move right on.
Bald man.
So apparently there is a competition for sexiest bald man alive, which I personally don't think should be a thing, because obviously sexiest man alive was won by none other than Michael B. Jordan, who deserves it. He deserves it every single year. I love him. But sexiest bald man has caused quite an uproar. Who won?
Not Mr. Clean, I can tell you that.
Abby was like, we're all forgetting about the sexiest bald man that's ever lived. Who is Mr. Clean? And she was like, I don't know why he didn't get any votes.
Why is Mr. Clean not getting nominated? Prince William won. And like, do yourself a favor and just take our word. Mr. Clean would have wiped him out.
How long were you waiting to say that?
To be quite honest, I literally just came up with that.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. But yeah, just take our word for it. Prince William did not deserve that title.
I don't know. I mean, is it because he's a prince? I don't like. No, it's because he's a prince that he won. I guess it was a bunch of Google, like they did like it by Google searches, and for some reason the word like sexy came up by Prince William like millions and millions of times. I'm like, who is Googling that? That's just weird. And maybe he's just not my cup of tea. Yeah. No British pun intended. But like
see, that went right over my head.
But maybe he's just not really my type. I also didn't know he was considered like fully bald, but it was hilarious. So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson came out and he tweeted, and he was like, how the cinnamon toast fuck does this happen when Larry David clearly has a pulse? Which I thought was hilarious. People are like in arms about it. Everyone's like freaking out. They're like, Stanley Tucci should have won. Like he's been making like cocktails on his Instagram like all quarantine. Like why the hell didn't he won? Like people are like pissed off that Prince William won.
Mr. Clean didn't won.
So I thought that was like the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, whatever. It's rigged anyways.
It's rigged. The classic sexiest bald man alive is so rigged.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for Drunk Deeds this week. Okay, so now on to, I guess, just updating you guys on our weekend. I feel like we had a good weekend.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah. We went to bar together for the first time.
That was fun.
That was cute.
It was cute.
I literally texted you the night before. I was like, wait, you said you're going to bar right before Sip and Dip, and you were like, yeah. I was like, what time? And it was the same time that I was going.
It was so cute.
And we both got parking tickets.
And we both got there late.
Oh my God, I know. Like a minute before.
I know.
Love that.
That was so fun. So then we went and we filmed Sip and Dip. And I know we've been teasing it so much, but we promise, guys, Sip and Dip will be coming out every single week starting this Thursday. So stay on the lookout for that.
Yeah, we have a few in the vault. But this past weekend we went to Woods Hill Pier 4, which was amazing. But you guys are gonna have to watch to find out. But
we won't say any more.
Yeah, we won't say any more. Tune in. But no, Bodega will be coming out on Sip and Dip, and I know it feels like we posted about that on our story forever ago. Good things come to those who wait, you know.
Exactly.
So that'll be coming.
Yeah. So we went to Woods Hill Pier 4, which is in the Seaport, and we were there on Saturday, and it was probably like 50 degrees out, but you would have thought it was like an 80-degree day.
I know. Everyone in their mom was out.
Buzzing. Like we were in the Seaport. It was impossible to get a reservation anywhere. Like every single restaurant was booked.
Yeah.
Mystery Man ended up meeting us out after.
Yep.
Which was fun. We grabbed a drink with him, and then you guys went to dinner. Where'd you go again? It was like Lola 42. Oh yeah,
which is in Seaport. Which if you guys are looking for a new date night spot, I highly recommend. It was our first time there, and I would go back in like a heartbeat. Like literally, like the vibes amazing. I like have to like shout out whoever created their music playlist because I was like
good.
dancing in my seat. I literally like felt like I was at a club. It was like the perfect amount of like dim, but not too dim. Like the decor was nice, and obviously the food and the drinks were fire.
I love that.
So like I highly recommend going. But yeah, we went there, had a cute little date night, enjoyed our time.
I feel like ambiance is just as important as food.
100%.
Right?
100%.
I mean, Michael would not agree. He's like, I'd rather go to a hole in the wall if I knew I was going to get like a fat burger. But I just think like sitting in a place where like it's the perfect, like I hate when it's too quiet and you feel awkward and you feel like you can't talk.
Yeah.
But I also hate when it's so loud to the point where you can't hear the person that you're at dinner with.
Right. Yeah,
That's bad too.
Like the music wasn't too loud. It was like the perfect amount. It was like white tablecloth with like a real candle, but like it wasn't like you wouldn't have to like dress up super like nice.
Yeah. No, I love that. It's the best.
Yeah.
Best date night spot. Well, I ended up Ubering home, and then I have the most insane, like wildest Saturday night out of nowhere. I woke up in the morning and was not feeling okay, and I had to go to, I didn't have to go. I wanted to go, but Michael and I had plans to go to his parents' house for like a early dinner with this whole family, like a Sunday early dinner. So I wake up, I'm not feeling my best, and I was like, what am I gonna do? So I decided to go to an IV bar to get an IV put into my arm.
Wait, why didn't you film that?
To give me the strength to go.
And you still didn't go?
I did go.
You did?
Yeah.
You went to dinner?
Yeah.
Oh.
I felt great after.
Oh.
You know, like when Captain, what's his face, or he takes all the spinach. Popeye. He takes the spinach. That was like me. I went to the IV bar and I was like crawling there. Like I got out of bed in the morning. I looked at Janine and I was like, I need serious help. Like I need to get an IV.
You got a last minute appointment.
Yes, I've been meaning to do it for years. And I was like, you know what? This is the saddest thing I've ever had to do. But I was like, I need to go. And she was like, okay, I'll go with you. So we both went. They literally like they physically stick a needle into your veins, put an IV in, and there's different ones you can get. So there's like the rookie, and then there's the game changer, and then there's like I forget what the last one was called.
Which one did you get?
I got just like the rookie because I'd never done it before, but you can get things added to it. So you can get some things for nausea. You can get things for pain. You can get like things added to like get rid of your fat cells, which I thought was kind of cool.
What?
Yep. There's like vitamin B12 shots you can get that like give you energy, like all this stuff. So there's a bunch of people that are like hungover and they're just sitting there with IVs in their arm, just like chilling.
Is it expensive?
It's like $80 for like their lowest package. They go all the way up to like $200. You sit there for like 30 minutes, and by the end of it, like you like feel like a brand new person. And it was funny though, because like most people were our age who were just hungover, but then there was like a guy there that was like wearing business clothes and like looked like he was like in a suit, and he didn't look hungover at all. So I feel like he was just there just to get pumped like with like a bunch of vitamins or something. I don't know, but it was a genius idea. And they were like, yeah, Sundays are our busiest days.
Oh, I bet.
So yeah, we did that. But
I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm jealous.
I'll take you with me next time. Do you get squeamish?
Yeah, but like I'd suck it up.
Yeah. But like I feel like I can't talk.
Are you okay? Drink your little Truly.
I just like lost my voice. I feel like though, like the night before, so when we got back from Sip and Dip.
How did you get to that point? What led you to the IV?
Because I left you and I was fine. And then what led me to getting an IV in the morning?
Because we kind of had a lot of drinks.
True.
In the early day.
So I get back to my apartment and my roommate's there, Janine, and my boyfriend was there. They were with like a bunch of our friends from college. Everyone was wearing like drinks after work hoodies, which was really cute. And everyone was just like, they were like, all right, like let's drink. And I was like, okay. I was like planning on having like the most low key night. I was going to edit some footage. I was going to like clean. That did not happen. We ended up going to Causeway and then Bodega.
You're looking at me like I was there.
I don't know. I'm like, can you please tell me what happened? Causeway and then Bodega. Like we went back to our place after the post game, but it was so much fun because like everyone there was people that we went to college with. So it just kind of felt like a night from UNH. Like it felt like I was in college again. It was just like, I feel like the nights that you don't plan always end up being the most fun. Like when things just kind of come together. So it was a blast, but it was just nice because it was like everyone that I feel like it hasn't been like that group of people since college.
Oh, that's cute. I can't relate, but that's cute.
What do you mean?
No, I just like don't really stay in touch with anyone from college anymore.
You don't?
Like not really.
Why? Like why do you think?
I don't know. I just like didn't put in the effort.
You didn't put
like
any effort.
Post-grad, no. I feel like...
Okay, so like post-grad. So like after you guys graduated, you didn't put in the effort.
No,
okay.
I feel like when post-grad came, I was just like so fixated on like the wrong things. Like I would prioritize like a boy over my friends. And then ultimately, like when you do that, like you lose your friends.
That's actually such a good point, because I feel like there are so many girls that I know, and it happened to me in high school too, where like you meet a guy and you become so like obsessed with him that you kind of just lose touch with your friends.
Right. And I feel like you can't like not put in effort and expect people to like stick around. Yeah. Because like back then, like I would have chose like a guy over like my like girlfriends like any day, but like now I would never.
Yeah. I think I was talking to one of my friends about this the other day, because I was like, I know so many girls that prioritized a boyfriend and made the boy like their whole world, being like, all right, like he's my person, we're gonna end up together, whatever. And then when they broke up, they were like, shit, now like, I have no friends, what do I do? And it's so much harder to go through a breakup, and I feel like would maybe keep you in a not good relationship, because it's like, well, you don't have anything else left if you get out of it. So we were saying how like friendships are probably actually more important than relationships in some regards, because unless something happens with a friend where there's like a falling out or you guys drift apart, you can like be friends with multiple people for your whole life. So I feel like it's so important to prioritize friendships for that reason.
I know. I had to learn the hard way, but like when I moved to Boston, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to make the same mistake again.
Right.
I'll learn from my mistakes. And like I took like a new city and a new job as like the opportunity to like actually put in effort, because I was like, okay, like it's kind of normal to like not stay in touch with like whether it's like your college friends or your high school friends, like your childhood friends. Like it's not that abnormal, but I was like,
it's not.
No, it's definitely like a me problem though. Like that was a me problem.
Right. But it's like mature that you can look back and be like, hey, like this was on me. Yeah. Like I feel like there's so many people in life who make excuses for everything they do, and they're like, well, that person was a bitch or that person was an asshole. And it's cool that you can be like, you know what? No, like I put my boyfriend before other people, and I'm not going to do that again. And that's awesome, because you're not like that now at all, which is cool.
Hell no.
And I did the same shit, but it was earlier on, like it was in high school. So I think by the time Michael and I started dating, like I kind of realized that about myself, and I was like, I don't want to make that mistake again. And we've always made such a point to like prioritize our friends. Like we always have, like he'll have trips with his guy friends, I'll have trips with my girlfriends, and I'm like, I need to do this because I never want to feel like I only have this guy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because if you break up, then what do you have?
Exactly. But you know what's so crazy though, is even though that's the case, like I feel like as a society, like we're so fixated all the time on relationships with a guy, and like a guy, like, you know, men are from Mars and women are from Venus, and like how to blah, 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 blah. But like, I feel like it doesn't get really talked about enough, like relationships with your friends, and like how to navigate them and how to prepare you from like for losing a friend.
Like how to maintain a friendship.
Yeah. Like keep a friendship. I feel like some of the most painful points in my life have ultimately been from losing a friend, and like some of the happiest times in my life have been like doing something fun with one of my best friends. Like those are probably some of the highs and lows in my life. But like I feel like losing a friend or like going through that or like fighting with one of your best friends, like I honestly think is worse. You know what I mean?
No, they're literally like, I mean, I'm sure like people can relate, but I feel like me personally, I've probably lost more friends than the average person.
Really?
Probably, yeah. Like I could think of a few friends that like I would have considered my best friend like back in the day, and now we don't talk. And like definitely like for various reasons, but like I can definitely attest that like I think like it hurts way more than a breakup. And like there are certain friends that I still think about like to this day.
You think about them still?
Yeah.
Versus like a guy, I feel like when you're over them, you're over them.
Right.
But like a girl, like I think if they were at one point someone you consider a friend, I feel like it's hard to like fully be like, all right, like I'm over that person. Like I don't think about them at all anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I had this one friend, she was like my best friend for, I don't know, probably like close to a decade. Like like we were like childhood best friends. And then in high school, not to get deep, but like when my dad died, like she didn't reach out and like say anything. And I just thought that was like so strange, because she was my best friend, and like I get it, like people like don't know how to respond to like death and like grief and whatever.
But she never reached out?
She just like never said anything. And so like that was kind of like the end of our friendship. And like I've thought about it like so much since. And that was like, I was 15.
That's insane. So did she like reach out about other things, or she just didn't reach out ever again?
No, she didn't reach out. I remember she like came over to our house to like pick something up because like our like family, like we were like family friends, and like so like my mom was like best friends with her mom, and she like came to like pick something up on behalf of like her mom, and like that was like the last time I saw her.
And you guys never like there was no like falling out, there was no conversation?
No.
Did you ever tell her you were pissed at her?
No. I know, isn't that weird? And then I've had I've had friends that like literally like we've ended friendships over like a boy, like either I didn't like their boyfriend or they didn't like mine, and like looking back we both should have trusted each other.
We just like, should have like stayed friends.
Literally we should have just stayed friends. But then there's been friends where like I literally just like we just grown apart,
right?
And there's like there was no rhyme, no fight, no nothing. Yeah. But it's just so weird to think that like someone could be such a large part of your life and then just be gone one day.
Do you think that impacted you like in terms of like moving forward, like going through, because I feel like that's so traumatic, right? Like something, obviously you suffered a great loss and the person that was supposed to be there for you wasn't. Like, do you feel like that impacted your ability to like trust people, or like not really?
Yeah. I mean, I think I definitely like still like have trust issues to this day. Like, and it's not with it, like it's with like everyone, but I could see how like now thinking about it, like why do I even go to therapy? I can just talk to you here. I'm like, wait, do I have trust issues? Because like literally, like I know like we've talked about this like outside of the podcast, but like I think like our definition of a friend is so different.
Right. Yeah, we do talk about this.
And I think like maybe it's because of like the experiences that I've had with friends, and like, and I know like you've had like your experiences as friends too, but like our views on friendships are so different. You
always talk about how like you're always someone that always had like that one best friend, right?
Yeah.
Like you were someone that was like, I'm really close with one person. I might have other like people in my life as well, but like there was always one person that was like my person. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I think for me, like so I grew up in Istanbul in Turkey, and I went to an international school. So it was teeny, like it was an English speaking school in Turkey, which like isn't really a thing. So there was 7 other girls other than me in my class growing up. So if one of those 7 girls doesn't like you, you're kind of screwed. So
and girls are mean.
And I always like played sports. Like I liked playing soccer, so I'd play soccer with the guys, and the girls just didn't like me. Like we weren't friends, and it was so hard for me. But like whenever I would make a friend, like she'd end up moving away because people came from different countries because it was an international school. So whenever I'd be best friends with someone, she'd move away back to like her home country or something. So like I went through like so much of that growing up that I think I never like only had one best friend. Like I've always had like a group.
All your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Isn't that so weird? And like even to this day, like I've always just had like a group of friends. I would never be like, oh, like this is like my one person because of that experience, I think. But I think like growing up, like that just definitely like does have like a play on like who you become and everything like that. But I don't know. I think ultimately though, what we realized was even with the Facebook group that we created, like so many girls have reached out to us being like, this is awesome. Like I really wanted to like make friends, or I just moved to the city, or like, hey, I don't really have a lot of friends. And I feel like it's something that
it's so hard to make friends.
Yeah. And like people are craving it. Like I don't think we talk about it enough because we spend so much time like obsessing over like boys, but we don't talk about the fact that it's like, we just want connections with people.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who they are, like girls,
like
boys.
Platonic friendships.
Someone that can
not
just like
romantic.
Right.
Just platonic, like just find whether it's one person. Like honestly, I've always believed quality over quantity.
I agree.
Because like I am not one to like label someone a friend unless they legit deserve it. Yeah. Like there are probably people out there that like consider me their friend and I consider them acquaintance.
You always say that.
Which is so mean to say, but like literally like if I can't call you at 2 a.m. and like know that like you'll be there for me, or like if you don't like know shit about my life, like you're not my friend. Yeah. Like I feel like there's a difference between like a friend and like a going out friend. And I feel like in college that was so common to have like your actual group of friends and then your like party going out friend group who like would just like use you for like fun plans.
Well, that's why I think though, because like going hand in hand with the whole college thing, I think your like mid-20s are some of the hardest times in your life in terms of feeling lonely and feeling alone, because in college and in high school you're showing up every single day to a place where it's just people all in the same boat. You're kind of just there for convenience almost. And especially in college, it's like the friends I had in college, like we did everything together. We woke up. Sometimes we'd like all like sleep in the same bed. We'd have slumber parties. We would go we would like, the only time we weren't together was when we were in class. We'd get out of class, we'd grab coffee together. We'd sit there binge watching Grey's Anatomy for 10 hours together because we had nothing else to do. We'd go to the bars. Like we did every single thing in our lives together. And then one day you graduate and you get jobs and you get busy and you have other shit going on. And I feel like time just passes and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm drifting from this person.
Yeah.
And the people that like you thought, like I know in college, like I thought the group of friends I had, I was like, this is it for life. Like this is it. These are my people. And to feel that like those people drifting away from you is the most painful thing in the world. And there's nothing you can really do to stop it. And I think it's like, I mean, I've had friends that graduated college and like they live right down the street and like we barely see each other. But then I have friends who moved to another country or to another state, and I think no one really prepares you for that. You know what I mean? Just like being in the real world. And like, especially if you move somewhere or like you're kind of just like starting over in a new city, all of a sudden you're like, wait, shit, like how do I make friends? Like how do I meet people? Like and I talked to my sister about this. I'm like, what do we do? Do we go to like a friggin' like pottery class and like, or do we just hang out at the library and just like talk to people and be like, hey, like, what are you reading? Like, I don't know. Like, what do you do?
I know. I feel like these days, like when you graduate college and you like start your real life, it's like the only way to make friends is through your job. And like, luckily for me, that worked out because like I've met some of my best friends from my job, and like we wouldn't be sitting here today if it weren't for my job. But I feel like other than that, like how else do you make friends?
Yeah, I agree. I have no idea.
Like,
it's so hard.
If anyone knows, let me know. Other than our Facebook group.
If anyone knows, let me know. But yeah. And I think also it's natural. Like as you get older, your social circle will get smaller. It's inevitable.
Yeah. And people think it's a bad thing, but like it's healthy.
It is healthy.
Like I feel like it's like, okay, so like there was like this one girl who I was best friends with for a wicked long time. Another girl.
Let's call her Kiara.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know any Kiaras. Okay, cool. And like we were best friends since middle school, and then like recently, like since post grad, like we just like stopped being friends, and there really wasn't any reason. Like there was like no really big fight, and like I think we just kind of just accepted that like we're not really in like the same place in our life anymore.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I feel like people like just cling on to like friendships or even relationships too. They just cling on to things because they've invested so much time, but like it's not normal. Like it's okay to let go of people.
Exactly. Like I feel like how many friends I had in college that maybe were just friends with me for the fun factor. Like we went out together, we used to get, you know, drunk at the bar, and then we'd get pizza and we'd waddle home and we'd have funny stories to tell. But it's like, unless those people are still around and they're adding value to your life and they care about you and care about the person you are, like, does it really matter if you don't talk to them anymore? And I think, like you said, like people cling on to relationships that might even be toxic, like people that you constantly fight with, people that constantly give you anxiety and make you feel like shit about yourself. And it's like, for what? I feel like I'd rather have 4 friends that are like decent human beings that can be there for me and I can like open up to them and I don't feel judged and I feel comfortable with them, than 15 friends that like I have no idea if I were to call them and like ask them for help if they would show up. Or if we were at like a party and I was like, hey, like I feel really, really anxious, I want to go. Like would they go home with me? Or would they stay at the party because all they care about is like being part of the social movement? They don't care about.
That's such a huge sign. Like will they leave the party or is that all they care about is the party? Will they leave the party with you? If they will not, then drop them as a friend.
Exactly. And I also think like social media like has such a huge impact on that, because you sit there and like you see people on Instagram or you see people on TikTok and like you see groups of friends and you're like, oh my gosh, like it's like nothing's ever good enough. It's either like, oh, like I don't have any friends and like here's a group of friends and they seem so happy, or it's I have a group of friends but they don't seem to be as fun as other groups and they're not doing cool enough things, or they're not getting into the coolest parties. And like I just think that like the cool factor never goes away and it's always there.
Yeah.
And I feel like in high school and college, like you think like, oh, it's gonna go away someday, but it doesn't. And it's like still there, and like it's like you're never good enough. Like no matter like who you're friends with, no matter like what events you go to, like it's like if you're comparing yourself to other people, like you're never gonna be happy.
Yeah. I feel like when you get older, it's easier to identify what someone's like true intentions with you are, because like in college, you might not be able to recognize those signs. Like, okay, like this person is just around because maybe I make them look good. Right. Or maybe they're using me because I have an in with like the hottest frat group, and like we get invited to all the best parties, and like you might be blind to that, and then you graduate college and you're in the real world and all those things don't matter anymore. Right. Like nothing matters. Exactly. Like literally like you're hit with the real life, and like you have real problems, you have responsibilities, like, and you can see what their intentions are. Like, are they hitting you up just to, you know, go on your Miami trip with you? Or are they, you know, are they down to have a wine night with just you two on a night in, like, and just chill?
I was talking to someone the other week, you were there too, who was like talking about this group of girls that she used to be friends with that she's not anymore. And she was like, we just like stopped being friends when quarantine happened. And she was like, you know, we would go to parties together and we'd like get hammered and like do whatever. And all of a sudden that went away and we like realized we had nothing in common. Isn't that insane? Yeah. Like, I feel like it just brought things to the surface. She was like, we have nothing in common. Like, we don't have anything to talk about. Like, we don't have anything in common. It's just like we were there for like the party scene. And I just think that's so crazy. Like with clubs being kind of like shut down and stuff, it's just, you kind of
like, who can you like shoot the shit with at 2 a.m. doing nothing with?
Exactly.
Like, those are your real friends.
Yeah. I was telling you this earlier. Like, I feel like I relate it to like the show Friends. I feel like I relate everything to Friends, but
I love that.
I always like to put myself into that perspective, because even though it was fictional, it was a show, and I know it wasn't real, whatever, guys. I think that like I watched that show, and it's like there was no social media at the time, and like I'm sure there was still ways you could compare yourself to people and like cool, not cool, whatever. But I think the point of the show is like, I mean, they're all like relatively attractive people, but like even taking that aside, it's like there's like a group of friends. They weren't like the richest. They didn't do like the coolest things. They weren't like dating movie stars or like doing anything like over the top, but they were just like so genuinely happy with like the friendships that they had and with like the relationships they had developed, that it was like fulfilling. And I feel like that's so important. You know what I mean? And like that's kind of at the point in life that I'm in now, that's what I want. Like, I'd rather have a small group of people that I can rely on that like make me feel happy and I know are there for me and like add value to my life, versus just like being in this huge group of people and like going to the coolest parties and like doing the coolest things, but just wondering like, do any of these people give a shit about me? Right. You know what I mean? Because in the end of the day, that's such an empty feeling.
But if you have to question it, then I think you have your answer.
Exactly. And I think that there's also so many people that like think there's something wrong with them. They're like, oh my gosh, someone drifted out of my life. Like, or I lost a friend, or like we got into a huge fight. Like, oh, like there must be something wrong with me. And I think that it's just like part of growing up, and it's like completely normal, and that's okay.
Yeah. I think like, at least for myself, until recently, I thought that, you know, people were supposed to be in my life for a reason, and they would stay in my life until they taught me that reason. Right. And I think whether or not they were there for a while, like I still learned something from that, so it wasn't a complete waste.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Like, you gain something from every situation. I also do think that like things have a way of working out too. So I think like, let's say you just moved to the Boston area, you don't know anyone, and you're like, shit, this sucks. Like, I don't know anyone here. I have no relationships, like girls, boys, like whoever it may be. I think that like I think that it's like, be the energy that you want to attract. Yeah. Like, if you put yourself out there and you are like a giving, warm, like compassionate person, like you're going to attract those sort of people into your life. Right. So I think if you're sitting here and you're like, shit, like I only have toxic friends, or I feel like I can't form relationships with people unless they're shitty, or I feel like people are like using me for my money or for what I can provide, they don't actually care about you. Like,
take a look in the mirror.
We'll take a look in the mirror, but it's also like, okay, then cut those people out. Like you'll be okay. I feel like people get so scared of being alone. Like, loneliness is like the most scary thing in the world, that they're like, I'm going to keep these bad people in my life that are ultimately bringing me down just because I'm scared of not having them. And it's like, no, cut those people the hell out of your life. And
I know,
like, but then the next thing,
exactly, I used to fight for friendships, and now I just don't.
Yeah, and if it's something worth fighting for, fight for it. But if it's not worth fighting for, and you're like, you know what, this person has made me cry more than they made me happy. This person makes me make bad decisions or a bad influence on me. They make me feel uncomfortable. Like, cut that person out of your life. But then the next thing you need to do is you need to work on yourself. And like advice I got a really long time ago is someone said to me, they were like, if you want to, and it was about a relationship, but ultimately it pertains to anything. And they were like, if you want to find the perfect person, be the perfect person. I think you have to put the work in. Like if you're like, I want good lasting relationships in my life, be someone that deserves that. Like be worthy of that. And I think like our generation, we're so
entitled.
Big. Exactly. We're entitled.
They think that they like, if they just get good friendships just from existing. And it's like, if you don't put in the work, if you don't put in the effort, you're not going to. I think that's something that I struggled with for a while because I was like, I don't really want to put in the work or the effort. So I'm just going to be miserable. And then one day I was like, Abby, you can't keep living like this.
Right.
And so you get what you give. And now I have an amazing friend group that I'm happy with. And it's like, well, I put the work in.
It's so true. You're so right. I think it's like, our generation, like you said, we're so entitled and selfish. And I feel like we have this like weird stigma of like, you deserve better, like you're the best, like you deserve whatever you want. And it's like, well, do you? Like, are you a good person? Like, do you treat people with respect? Do you have integrity? Are you like an honest person? Are you caring? Are you nurturing? Caring? Are you empathetic? Like, are you there for people when they need you? And the answer to those questions are no. Then it's like, well, why the hell do you deserve someone to treat you with those same qualities if you can exert them towards others? Like, and I know it's like the golden rule and it's so cliche, but I feel like we kind of give people a pass these days to act like assholes. And then we're like, oh, well, no, you deserve better. And it's like, well, maybe you don't. Like, act better then. Like, be those things. And then you're going to get the same things back. Like, it's no coincidence that people do shitty things end up getting shitty things in return. Like, I just think that's so important.
You're just spitting fire today. Jesus. Are you guys taking notes?
I don't know. I just think that in the end of the day, like things will have a way of working out. And you just like put the time into like invest into yourself and being like the best version of yourself that you can be. Like you're gonna meet people that are similar to you and it'll be fine.
Yeah, it also doesn't hurt to join our Facebook group.
Also join the Facebook group.
If you're a Boston baddie, there's like almost 900 of you. So.
Yes, also join the Facebook group is kind of the moral of the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's transition over to the over-under. What do we got this week?
Okay, so this week I've got overrated.
Just like me, right?
I thought you were going to like turn this on to me and I was like, you can't steal my own joke.
I know. You said that to me last week. Abby was like, overrated, just like you, Shannen.
Just like you.
Just like you.
So not only are you overrated, but I think Urban Outfitters is overrated.
Wait, I'm wearing Urban Outfitter jeans. Is that why?
I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't know. Okay, no, but no. Okay, I'll give you the Urban Outfitter.
Give me the reason.
Urban Outfitter jeans are pretty good, but when I walk into Urban Outfitters, I'm just like, ugh, everything here is basic.
Yeah,
and like
overpriced.
Yes, overpriced. Why is a graphic tee like $80?
Yes,
and it's not even soft. This is not from Urban Outfitters. Don't come for me. This
I was going to say, it kind of looks like it might be from Urban Outfitters. She's wearing like a Rolling Stones t-shirt. Also, I promised Sam that I'd bring this up. Abby, name 4 Rolling Stones songs.
Go fuck yourself.
All right. Anyways, Urban Outfitters.
I don't know. I don't really think I even need to explain it. I think like most people with a brain could agree. Like if you shop at Urban Outfitters, like, how's that hole in your pocket? I don't know. No,
I think it's a good point because here's the thing. And I agree with you. I don't think that we're saying that Urban Outfitters is not a good store. They don't have cute clothes. I think we're saying that's not worth the price.
No.
Like, trust me, I have had an absolute day before having some champagne with my girlfriends, heading over to Urban Outfitters, popping some tags, spending a little bit too much money, like just like the next girl. But I think ultimately you walk in there, and especially for some reason the past like 6 months or a year, it's been very like I don't walk in, I don't get excited. I don't see some
obsessed with it in college, and then I like grew up and I was like, wait, there's so many other better stores that I could like spend the same money on.
Yeah.
Or
and less money. I think that's the biggest thing. Like it's mostly just like t-shirts these days and like maybe
a few like dresses and like I don't know.
I like the jeans, but I never see anything that I get excited about. I get more excited at Zara.
Yes, and they're way more affordable than Urban.
Exactly. I agree with you. Overrated.
Yeah.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What do you have for underrated?
Okay. Underrated. I think underrated is taking Monday off after a vacation.
I've never been smart enough to do that.
Neither have I. Well, actually, no, I did it once.
Yeah?
But
recently?
No, it was a few years ago. I should really start doing it. But I'm not talking about like flying home on Monday. I'm talking like you have like your vacation. Let's say you like have vacation Thursday through Sunday. You fly home Sunday. You take that Monday off. You're already you're back in your bed by Sunday night. Like, but Monday you have the whole day. And I know some people might be like, well, it's like you get stressed out, like anxious about like skipping Monday, but you can still think about it. You have a whole day to do whatever you want. So you can still answer your work emails. You can still like
on your time.
That's the thing. But you're not dealing with annoying meetings. You don't have people like up your ass being like, hey, like, can you blah, 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 blah. It's like, you can just like get through your emails, get through all the stress, the anxiety, cope with it, clean your room.
And pre-COVID, like that even slaps harder because being able to like stay home and like do your laundry and unpack and like go grocery shopping and like do everything that you normally do on Sundays. And like, I don't know, because Sunday scaries are scary.
So scary.
But like they're scarier like, when you just came back from vacation.
Wouldn't you rather sleep until 10 a.m., get through all your emails, go F up a chai latte somewhere, walk around, do a little dance, come home, clean, put on a friggin' face mask, take a bubble bath, wax your legs. I don't know, whatever the hell you want to do. You come in Tuesday and you're like, already know what you need to do. You have a plan, an agenda. You're not like freaking out being like, oh my gosh, like, am I going to get fired? Like, I feel like it's just way better.
Yeah. I mean, I think we should go on vacation just so I can do that.
just so we can try it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put it to the test.
Where are we going?
Where do you want to go? Where can we go?
Can we go anywhere?
The world is our oyster.
I know. All right. We'll find somewhere soon.
Well, that's episode 17.
17.
We're almost on all of our hands and toes.
I hate when you do that. We're almost on all of our hands and toes. Such a great way to describe it. Yeah. I know. We're going to have to do like a celebration for episode 20. Maybe we'll like prank Sam. No. He said no.
He said no.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for sticking around for another episode of Drinks After Work. We always have so much fun with you every single Monday. And also, thank you guys for curing our Monday scaries. I feel like I used to hate Mondays, but like coming in here and getting to record honestly makes them a blast. So appreciate every single one of you that listens every single week.
Hey guys, so make sure you copy your merch, link in bio. Hopefully next week we will be wearing our own merch. No promises, who knows? I don't know.
Hell yeah.
While you're at it, follow us on social media. It's at Drinks After Work _ on Instagram, at Drinks After Work, no _ on TikTok. Join our Boston Baddies Facebook group if you're a Boston Baddie.
And leave us a rating and review, and we will see you next week.
Use code Big Night for 20% off your order and free shipping at Manscaped. And have a freaking wonderful Easter if you guys celebrate.
Good point. We didn't even mention Easter. Have so much fun if you celebrate Easter. Have fun. Hug your mom for us and have a great week.
Yeah, I hope the Easter Bunny comes.
Bye.